The Janet Danner Joyful Ornaments Fund proudly announces the two recipients of its 2016 fundraising campaign, Samantha Powell and Jennifer Bridges.
In my early 20s, I got custody of my niece and nephew. They were 5 and 6 at the time. And that was rough because I was single. So I went from being a fun aunt to having to be a mom pretty much overnight. But it was the most wonderful thing that could ever happen.
I am a single mom of 2 kids. Blake is 21, Sydney is 15. He is, will be graduating in the fall for criminal justice. She's going into the 10th grade. So my babies are growing up on me.
After about a year, I met my husband, and we dated as much as we could date with me having 2 young children. We spent a lot of dates with the children, lots of picnics and park trips. And after we dated for about a year, he proposed and we got married a year later. And we're married for several years and got pregnant with my now 5-year-old. When Dupree, my 5-year-old, was 2, my husband had a massive brain aneurysm. He was on life support for about a week. And they did many surgeries trying to repair the aneurysm, but it was at his brain stem, which pretty much controls everything, your breathing, everything. So we kept him on life support long enough for Life Point to come in because he was an organ donor. So we had that big blow, which is really hard on the children and me. So I was a single parent again, but now with 3 children.
In July of 2014, I got sick on a Friday, feeling bad. My stomach hurt a little bit. Went the weekend, just went to church Sunday morning, come home, laid around. Monday morning, I got up to go to work. Went to work, and about 4 o'clock, it got really bad. So I came home and went to the hospital, emergency room, and my appendix was starting to rupture. So they removed my appendix that night about 11:30, and I found out 6 weeks after that when they took my appendix off that I had cancer.
I came down with the flu. Had it really bad, and then Dupree got it. So we were home for about a week with the flu, and then towards the end of my flu, I started having really terrible stomach pains. They were debilitating. I couldn't move. I couldn't even lift my head. It was so bad. So I went to the doctor, and they told me that it's probably my gallbladder, so sent me to the emergency room. The CT scan came back, and it definitely showed that I had gallstones and needed to have my gallbladder removed. On the radiology report, it said that, of course, my gallbladder, but it also said that my appendix was enlarged to suggest acute appendicitis. And so I asked my surgeon about it when I met with him, and he said, we'll take a look at it when we remove your gallbladder. Well, when he went in to look at my appendix, there was a tumor inside my appendix. And he didn't tell any of us that he'd found that day. And February 18th is actually when I went into his office. Then he told me the news that I had something called goblet cell carcinoid of the appendix. And I really didn't understand what he was saying. And it didn't really hit me until he came and he placed his hand on my knee and teared up. And he said, I've not wanted to call you and tell you this news. He said, I hated to tell you this news. And then it dawned on me what he was telling me.
And I took chemo every other week. I was supposed to do 12 cycles every other week. I would go to the hospital and have it, and then wear a bag home for 3 days. You wear a bag home, but my body couldn't tolerate the chemo, so she cut it short, and I only had 9 treatments of chemo. and we were going to keep a watch on it 6 months, every 6 months do a CT scan. And at my second CT scan a year after my initial diagnosis, it had came back and taken my female organs.
We decided to do a 6-month treatment of full flux chemotherapy. So I did that. I did, out of 12 treatments, I did 11, and I finished in December. I couldn't do the 12th one. I just was too sick. They have a saying that about chemo, if it doesn't heal you, it'll kill you. Kind of feels that way. It's pretty rough stuff. And my children had to watch me go through it all, which was really hard.
My appendix cancer is terminal. Less than 1,000 Americans have it. It's really hard to ever get rid of it. So it just attacks it follows your major organs. So if I'm still cancer-free in August, which I hope I will be, they're gonna see about doing the heated chemo. It's supposed to prolong it by about 5 years of coming back.
The Janet Danner Joyful Ornaments Fund ministers to women fighting cancer. We're committed to discovering and helping meet the special needs of women with cancer through the sales of our handmade ornaments, silent auctions, and fundraising car shows.
If everybody had a nose across the USA, then everybody be served like California. You'd see 'em wear their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hair, serving USA.
Proceeds from these events help recipients with medical expenses.
It's very, very, very expensive to ever get sick. Especially if you have cancer. That's just an outrageous, it's astronomical. I probably owe about around $100,000 right now in medical bills, and they've been great to let me make my little payment, but without working it's kind of hard. And Joyful Ornaments they'll help you with that.
They are a group of people working together. They create ornaments and they pick a woman, I believe, that is going through cancer. They chose Sarah, and we were just so thankful and excited.
They pick a person every year to do one, and they work on it all year until Christmas. And then at Christmas, they have a ceremony.
Since 2010, the Janet Danner Joyful Ornaments Fund has come alongside many different ladies, ministering to the needs of the whole person, whether financial or physical, emotional or spiritual.
They are willing just to come alongside and prepare meals, and it's not just a financial thing. You can just feel the love from the people, just being supportive and stuff like that.
It was just a really beautiful experience to see how the body of Christ was being unified and just lifting up my mom.
It's just been awesome to hear everything that they want to do to help.
Like in the beginning when I really struggled with losing my hair, and they got me introduced us to a lady to get a wig ordered and to get all that done, and they kind of helped me through that. They've just been really, really helpful.
God just hands them to us. I mean, we sometimes will feel stressed out, or, you know, where do we go from here? Who do we choose? How could we possibly choose this person over that one? And God just makes that answer clear every year.
She had heard my name come up multiple times through different networks of people. And whether it's fate or divine intervention, my name just kept being mentioned, and Christy kept hearing about me. They're all about women, empowering women, and I just love the concept of girl power. I just love the fact that I can go out and do a triathlon and I can beat the guys. And so when she said we're women empowering women, I was just like, sign me up. You know, I'll do whatever needs to be done.
It's just another one of God's blessings, you know, that He has just poured out on me. So I just have really been touched by everything that they do.
Oh, it's just been a blessing to know that you have a group of people praying with you and really reaching out to you, coming to support you. If I needed anything, I would call them and they'll be there to help with transportation, with actually helping out financially with bills, and also kind of really reaching out in terms of your spiritual needs. And that to me has been great. They just loved us, loved the kids, my children. And Chrissy and all the other ladies have been such a blessing. I know they did the Greenville Drive, and my husband was a part of it, and he loved it. And really bringing us to another community.
It's really exciting because I'd never been a part of anything like that before.
I've learned so much, and I'm just really, my faith has just grown so much, and every little thing that like I get through, it feels like God is there and helping me, and so I feel like it's really made my faith grow.
And hope and pray for what we call our Kool-Aid smiles. With the tumor I have, it can change quickly. It knocks you down, but then you get yourself back up, and I have no other choice than to fight. This thing is not going to get me.
Help us make a difference in the lives of these joyful ornaments.